Wow, I'm really excited about something that I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use on my Patreon, okay? So now, one of the things that's going to end up happening here is there's a specific type of like electrochemistry work that you can use to be able to harmonize things towards your timeline. Now, before I found out about space and what they were really doing, I talked about this with astrology. And I said that some of you guys don't know that your timeline is basically like aligning with specific aspects in your chart. So some of you guys don't know that like there's a certain type of like kinetic or electric energy that's working with your phone and your chart, your astrological makeup, and your timeline because it's Mercury energy, right? So this is going to come up again because I talked about this and I'm going to go find that video. But the biggest thing here is that I have found out a specific type of energy work. And in this energy work, you can go ahead and you can harmonize things towards you, things that you need to see. So like, okay, I know that they're friends and I know that there's something on this timeline. Let me see. And what happens is if you play with this electrochemistry, I'm just going to go ahead and do it for some of you guys because you just need to see how crazy this is. You end up finding exactly what you need at the right time or coming into specific information at exactly the right moment. So the other day, I was like on the interwebs. I was on the interwebs and I came across a specific type of like information. And I was like, how did God know that this is what I needed to see at that moment in time? It's God's plan. So I came across some information about our little friend called Cro-Magnon, aka white men. This is gonna start a lot of shit. So, yeah, maybe we should get this off the internet. Somebody's goofy as fuck, right? Like, oh, you must make it seem like you guys are all the same. So they said the oldest ancestor on the earth is like a skeleton that they found, and her name is Lucy, and they found her like in Ethiopia or something like that. She was playing with Necropolis Uy. She's a karmic in space. We came here from space and we came here through reproduction. This planet has not been on like for that long. Now you guys see like Neanderthals, Cro-Magnon, Cro-Magnon speak, Cro-Magnon walk, Cro-Magnon think again. Yeah, Cro-Magnon again. Cro-Magnon. What are these fucking words? This. Oh, I didn't put my screen share on. Hi, Cro-Magnon. Neanderthals lived approximately 400,000 to 40,000 years ago based on outdated like science that really doesn't work, which is called carbon dating, right? Like, how are you going to tell me how old I am? You're younger than me. Dinosaurs and shit like that, those hoes died here and like they were playing with like nonsense and things like that. It was like a really wild planet. So now something is coming out here about a specific group of white men that are tampering in silent science called Alan Wilson and Vincent Sarich. And they basically wrote a paper on immunological timescale for hominid evolution. Hominid evolution, right? And basically, what they were basically saying here is that we all like came from Neanderthals and Neander apes and shit like that. Okay, so I'm gonna protect some of these animals because I don't want them getting like experimented on and things like that because of stupid white people looking for spiritual powers to make it seem like they're not sleeping with their family because now they just realize like, oh, we have all these different rare diseases. And if we're so powerful and things like that, why are we the group of people with the highest mortality rate and morbidity rate and things like that and rare diseases? So what ended up happening here was they wrote a specific paper saying that we have a similarity in DNA to Neanderthals, like certain like animals, and that because of the similarities in blood, that we must be related to them. And a lot of biological tests and medical tests and procedures are based off of testing on specific apes, not guacatazi, apes. An ape is a white man. Apparazer, Pazaranir, Egorazaranir. I don't know who I am. I have sex with my mom. My father is also my cousin or my brother. So some of you guys are gonna find out, oh, so somebody got on a spaceship and they came here and they brought the original apes. They've done that 3 times in like world history where they came here with spaceships and starting some shit. And that's why the radial probability density of the radial probability distribution of this specific solar system and this specific galaxy and in this specific universe is very low because of the low vibrational things that they did with the high vibrational energy, right? Which is why we don't get people like building pyramids and all those different type of things. Like, think about that. So now what ended up happening here is be careful with that. What's happening here is that this is going to come up in bioinformatics because without a shadow of a doubt, there's like open source, like protein models, open source data, and things like that. The public commons, the public domain, things that you could look into. Okay, right? Okay, I did this for my project and I had to use free data, right? There's things that you can go ahead and you can pull on to show like, oh, I did it like a scrub of all these different protein models for this specific type of like enzyme, and I found that this enzyme and these sequences in FASTA and blast files are similar to chimpanzees, simians, right? And it's similar to simians and their enzyme functions and their sequences. So, what are you trying to say? Basically, we just exposed the fact that they brought white people here and then played with something with reproduction with a few bitches that were on the planet to birth the white people who have no melanin. But why, believe me, you guys have seen me read hieroglyphs. And there's a specific hieroglyph that I'm gonna read, and it has like the story of what they call the illegal 12, which are a group of aliens that came down here to play a bunch of games and start a bunch of shit and cause unnecessary drama. And now something's gonna come out like maybe we should get this offline because now it's open source, right? So somebody's gonna get really smart, like, I wanna learn about this. I need to learn about this. Learn Python. I did. Like, you would call them like mini algorithms that you would run, like slicing and then putting together and like search, da da da. I have like all of that like for you if you guys want to like start playing with that. Um, so now they taught at UC Berkeley from 1966 to 1994. So a lot of medical research is based off the fact that white people are actually Neanderthals running around starting shit. And that's why they act like that. Oh, we're apes. Okay, so that's why we act like we're cavemen. And that's why we're look like that. And that's why we start shit like that. Oh, we're very uncivilized. Now I see why we were going back and forth into like Egypt. We were looking for soap and looking for cleanliness because we kept on dying from diseases. So now something's gonna come out with like trying to like scrub on the internet and something about biological anthropology and something with like trying to make it seem as if that never happened, but it did happen. And I just wanted to let you guys know that this is how far this is going to go with virtual reality because this is what had to come out on the planet. So I know for a fact that I didn't come from no Neanderthal because we read that in school. Like, what? We came from like, we used to walk on all fours and then we like evolved into like humans. So we started off as one ape, or what type of ape was I? Based on what part of the world? Oh, all of life started here and like radiated out. And we know that that's not true because we have Anchor Wild, we have the Mayan Federation, we have Kemet, and we have the Native American Federations, etc. We have Pangea. Right. Yeah, that's somebody in space like, oh shit, we need to hide that. Right. So Pangea is basically where like they say that the world was like all connected and one big landmass all at one point in time, and that what ended up happening here is that the world like shattered and there was a big earthquake and then like land masses like disappeared. So right, if that was the case, like who is the original like race? Why don't you have melanin? Oh, because we live in the snow. So what about the Inuit people that they kidnapped and trafficked all of them in Greenland and stuff like that? Because white people are not native to that place or Alaska. Oh yeah, that's true. Eskimos. Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, that's a true thing right there. Hey, sister, I'm in Hawaii. Yeah. Hey, sister, we're on island time. Yeah. Whoa. So again, I'm asking a fucking question. So if they have the Inuit people, and then they also have like different type of like indigenous groups that are native to the snow, native to like what you guys call like Canada, native to Toronto, and they have color. Why don't you have any melanin? And how you're gonna find out so a bitch from space that like is fucking on like white that is like basically involving herself in like sexual rituals to be able to like keep up a specific type of like negative substance base to then be able to say, we are going to tamper with the shattered database of lithium and silicone and a few other chemicals and minerals to later build the computer. Because people have that in space. It took them thousands of years to get to what they are now. Why, why are you around me? First of all, two, why are you playing like that? Let's have a seat, sweetie, and let me talk to you about something. Three, why are your experiments out of control? Four, why are you telling white people to rape and molest small black and brown children and black and brown women and even men to get spiritual powers? No, when it's with the guy, it's even better. You get a different type of DNA. That's what the fuck they're doing because you whole started this whole virtual reality and it like exploded. I'm sure they were doing this before. No, it like completely amped up. And that's why we have something called Ebony Alert, which is like an Amber Alert system specific to like black and brown people, black people. Right, like you could take a nigga out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of me. Same thing that we were just talking about. Why don't you have any melanin and you're from the snow? But I have melanin and I'm from the snow. Pietro Taconelli, you are a karmic and you just heard about Seven Bomber. You want to come put nonsense here because you know something's about to blow up because you're playing in virtual reality and someone told you that I'm exposing this. Okay. So, I imagine the morphology that occurred that made you and me look much different at all happened pretty recently. Melanin is a specific chemical in the blood that cannot be analyzed by the advanced tools of science. Carbon dating does not work on melanin. So now, yeah, wow, wow, wow. Hold on. How are we going to actually, yeah. Yeah, if you're a Neanderthal in the blood, then it's in the mind, and then whoops, that's bad. You shouldn't be in society, which is going to end up coming next with a bunch of people asking whites to just like, just get out of office, please. Just like leave. Because you're an ape. Azaraner, Perseranir, Exagorizer, right? So, question again, right? Whoa! You guys know, like when you got weave and like you got the yikes. So, I'm just pondering because a little birdie that was like by my window screaming, "We got caught! We got caught!" She told me, "You're going to be destroyed." And she went to go say, this is what you're going to go do tonight in virtual reality that the feds are watching. This is what you will do tonight. You must make sure that you make as much noise as possible. If I hear a single white man in my ear, I'm going to put Dugruazai on them. Do you know what that is? This. If I hear a single white man in my ear tonight about anything, or if anybody hears a single white man after what happened today with Ukram, if I hear it tonight, you're getting Duguraz in him. Did you hear me? Good. So now somebody's gonna go do like a project like, okay, I'm inspired. I didn't listen to school. I didn't go to college. Whatever. I'm ready to learn. You're ready to learn. And now you found out from my page, different websites you guys can go to like, I can get a certificate in biology. I can get a diploma in this. This is really good. Let me just finish my GED real quick. You can do it online. Oh my God, before you start to go to the test center and take classes and shit like that. This is so advanced because you were playing too much and starting too much shit. So now, yeah, I want to do like studies on, yeah, that's magic though, like spell work and like playing games with DNA. I want to do certain things. Yeah, watermelon. Yeah, don't start that with Black people. It's Juneteenth. Oh my God, it's Juneteenth. We're really free. Because now we just figured something out about what they were doing, right? And what they were insinuating. So I think for you guys, like, I think the biggest thing here is we've just like uncovered something very sinister. Give me a second. Yeah, I know what morphology is. It's like how the phenotype like changes and evolves like over time. But there's something called like phylolytic trees that are going to expose that because there's something about like a common ancestor and different groups of people on the planet that have something called like a common ancestor. So like let's say for instance like a phylogenetic tree is like you guys have been let me see if I actually have this. Okay, I don't have that. Let's say you guys have been to like the zoo or you've been to science classes and they have like a chart and it says mammal, right? Mammals. And then it has humans and different animals that are mammals. It says reptiles and it has different reptiles that are like reptiles, but not warm-blooded and cold-blooded reptiles. What you mean? Reptiles that lay eggs and then reptiles that have like vaginal births. You came from space, but I'm natural here. You played in your DNA, you played in space and experiments. You have no speech because you started slavery, but I'm natural. Because nobody can answer why is it certain snakes they give birth like that and certain they had to adapt. They just had to adapt because it was not safe. What do you mean it's not safe? I'm a snake. How much adapting do we do? Because based on how much shit that goes on in the Black and brown community, we have a certain type of DNA because of trauma that white people are trying to play with. Like, oh, is that what makes them resilient? Let's go play with that and do this and start that. Okay, this is like really cool. Playing with small children sexually and starting shit like this. So you mean to tell me that all this is about them trying to prove the fact that they are not Neanderthals created by some bitch in space, and she's trying to run their body to like get some type of like thing from you or to find out something that really is like in astrology and gonna come out in astrology? And why don't we have this in astrology? Why don't we have this in our chart? What do you mean we have cursed planets? What do you mean that we're not supposed to be here? Is that why we're all sick? Is that why white people have the highest rates of diseases and rare diseases? Is that why this is happening? And she doesn't want to tell you that, well, we created you to be mate because I don't have a mate. And we're illegals. We're not supposed to really be around because we started slavery. So, okay, I just wanted a mate, basically like a fuck buddy. So you created Neanderthals. Cro-Magnon walk, right? Super epic. And then you decided that you were going to play with Black and brown people and try to put us in that pot and say that HIV came from somebody having sex with a chimpanzee. And now you're going to get super messy, super duper messy and exposed because of Henrietta Lacks, a Black woman that they took her cervical cells, John Hopkins, and her cells kept on replicating because somebody put a spell on them. but her cells like gave them enough like cultures so they can start doing scientific testing. So Merck, Genentech, Bayer, Novartis, all these different companies. There's a whole lot more. 89 Bio, Biogen, GenBio, whatever the fuck, iBio, Gilead, both of them, right? They built their companies off of a black woman and her cells, and then her family lived in poverty in the United States South. Because people don't know that there's like a book and a movie about this. Yeah, so if that's the case, then what are you talking about? We're not the same then, because how did you get that from a black woman, and what the fuck is that about? And why are you saying, because I just looked up these white men, somebody just went to go look up these white men because they're going to bring this up at their job. A lot of people are watching this, especially the whole entire Indian biotech community because of robberies and farms. Yeah, my family, we have like a small farm in India, and like they just came through the farm and they killed somebody and they stole everything. It's like traumatizing. Okay, good, we got it. Okay, yeah, but we can't use these herbs. Working with rats. So now something is going on here where basically what they were saying here is that we have the same blood as Neanderthals and we're similar. They said that the biochemical variation distinguishable immunologically, aka within the immune system, by doing electrophoresis, which is going to come out again and expose somebody. Electrophoresis doesn't really work, and we're actually exposing like cyborg and all these rare diseases in the delta and gamma, not alpha and beta, but in the delta and gamma aspect of the electrophoresis wave, you're exposing incest. So you mean to tell me that you can read a bioinformatics and tell if we practice incest generationally? Yes. What is your channel about? A bunch of shit. You started it, so come find out. So now, basically, what's going on here to another degree is something is getting turned off. Like, okay, they found out everything because there's like stupid, disgusting white men that think like, because some bitch is talking in their ear that they're like special. Like, you have no idea what we know. I do. Because it's on a certain website and it's inaccurate. How do you know about that website? I've been knowing about this website for like 12 years. Just like I found out about Spotify when you still needed like invite codes and uTorrent when it was like super, super new. That's like 2008. So consequently, genetics tends to show how similar humans are to chimpanzees, now how different we are. The reason is that we do not know how to build a four-dimensional body, an organism, from a one-dimensional set of instructions for it. Sarich and Wilson used the primate molecular data in 1960s to demonstrate convincingly the Ramapithecus, considered to be on a human line 14 million years ago. It's not that he's like, he was here 14 million years ago. It's just that they didn't came here and started some shit. Yeah, dinosaurs and stuff like that, they were on the planet. They came here. The planet was much more bigger. Remember, radial probability distribution. The planet was much more bigger. There was way more stars. Our zodiac is like half of what it should be. Why? Because it kept on getting deactivated and lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. Why? Because there's a stupid fucking goofy bitch from Ethiopia playing games in space with ratchet ass magic because they will have to bring us back. We're not going to be banished for life because in space you live forever. That's why you can die and get your body back. It's super easy. They do that all the time. There's planets in this galaxy that they can not make it to at all. They see like a big wall or something like that. It just gets like super dark. We can see those things if we go because it's like hidden from them. Some of these Ethiopian hoes that are playing, they're on Neptune. Right. What are you talking about? So now, again, but who's talking to you though? Like, oh, you're right. So if you're like sitting right there, why am I talking to you though? Let me do my job. Yeah, but you were having so much fun molesting small children until you found out that you were Neanderthal. And you played so many games in the computer that I just found out, like, oh, so that's what you're doing? You're trying to do the genetic testing on me to like see if you can play my DNA to become like special and like hyperdimensional. Okay, I'm gonna tell white people something. You're gonna end up initiating something very serious and very sinister and very wicked, playing with those stupid assholes that don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're talking to you for a reason. Ask yourself, yeah, but there's like several black and brown people that are like outstanding and very intelligent, and they don't have this. How is this happening? You guys go in the media and you constantly see. I'm 17 years old and I just graduated with my PhD. I'm like 9 years old, but I'm already taking like college classes and high school classes. How? And it's mainly black and brown children. Actually, we need to hide that in the media because there's something about SEO, there's something about statistics, and there's something about news stories that's going to explode with that. Thank you. Yeah, that's true because I see this all the time with their children. Like, why that though? Are those children in the intelligence scanner and playing? No, they're not. So now another thing that's going to end up coming up here with this is okay, yeah, but we make ourselves look a certain type of way. We act like Neanderthals. We act like cavemen. We act like we don't have any sense. And that's where you guys are starting to realize that bioinformatics is more mental than it is actually biological, right? Why? Whereas you can go into a family and you can find like traits of a mental illness passed down, genetics, inheritance. Ah, yeah, that is true. I have a diagnosis of schizophrenia. Right. Which is how those bitches play with you because it's a certain type of chemical imbalance. So they can play with the rate law. It's something in chemistry, like this is the order of reactions, and this goes first, and then that goes first, and that goes first. Just because you see CH here and BR here, that doesn't mean that. BR is like the catalyst in the reaction. Why? I'm not going to tell you why, but just figure it out. Okay, good. So, oh, yeah, there's something about that. That's very serious. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's the difference between indigenous and Homo sapien? If you guys can see me and hear me, please go ahead and like type in the chat box. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Period is, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, good. So now, one of the things that I was talking about is the fact that there's like this goofy ass bitch in space, and she basically is playing with a specific technology because they were banished. And in space, every day could be Taco Tuesday with you, girl. Oh, you're so cute. Steven Seagal body double. What are you into? So, one of the things that's happening here is there's something called like common DNA. There are specific genetic markers. You can find genetic markers for like mental illness, like in people. It's a little bit skewed, but it's from like data from people that they know for a fact have it, and then they match it. So what's going to end up happening here are people going to start to ask questions. Yeah, that's true because I'm indigenous. We stand on 2 feet. We don't have like any history of like that in our country. No, we didn't come from monkeys, and HIV, everyone knows that the white man came and injected everybody because they're thinking, oh, a melanated man. This is the story. Just like how they have stories of like, this is how Mary and Jesus, or this is a story of Bilal or Muhammad or Iqbal. Or this is the story of Arjuna in the war. So they said that a black man had sexual relationship with a monkey, and then he ended up getting disease. And then he said that the monkey actually they ate the monkey, which also exposed something. So is it foodborne or is it transferred through blood? So now people are finding out if you eat a certain type of pork and you already have herpes, or if you had a certain type of like bacteria in your body from eating processed or damaged food, you can also get HIV. So now, this is still being used in research. Like, oh, this is outdated though. It's still being used in research as early as like the last paper, 2019. I'm seeing here somebody citing 2003, citing 2006, a bunch of stuff going on. A book that I have about this. Because you can't really find like good stuff on bioinformatics. It's a book that I have on this. So I'm seeing like, okay, that's what you people are doing. So now something's coming out here. Okay, there was dinosaur here. They had these different type of animals there to begin with. They came from space. They were starting shit. Now, one of the things that's gonna come out here too is about radial probability distribution. So as I gain more, I expand more, or do I? As I gain more of a specific toxicity, I have less of a specific energy available to me. So now what's happening here is it's coming out like, oh, we could have like better things on the planet. Even certain type of herbs don't grow here, certain type of flowers. There's even certain type of indigenous people that, because the radial probability distribution is very low. This is why you can't teleport certain things. This is why certain forces of physics that you only see in movies don't exist on the planet. So then it's going to come out like, oh, white people are being used as an anchor here to make sure that the planet stays low vibrational so that a bunch of bitches in space that are banished and like banished to like an eternity of suffering and chaos come back and forth to the planet through reproduction, start a bunch of wars with the indigenous people that banished them, and cause a bunch of chaos with white people so they can make it seem like they're doing something in space. Like, oh, look at our experiment. Yeah, look at it. Come with me to this duat. Because these holes that are playing in the computer, here we go. It is not true. We told you who you are. We told you you were powerful. There will be lies. There will be several lies. And in order to refute who they are, you must continue because it's a voice changer. Okay. So now, as you guys are starting to see, like, oh, so how far is this like really going? Far, 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 farther than far. The furthest. Oh, so you mean to tell me that they're going to jail because of something that they did in space? I knew it wasn't us. No, we're cleaning up. I know for a fact that that's it because I know we're not the problem. Okay, Cro-Magnon, you're the only group of people on this planet that do this. And then you're talking about like, yeah, but there's been World War country. How does it always start? White people. Kamer, how did that start? White people wanting a specific herb and things like that, ethnic food and whatnot from Cambodia, Vietnam, etc. Yeah, that's a fucking problem. That's actually true. All throughout history, it's like actually only been us, and we're the only one without melanin. That's okay. We can just get it from this octopus. They said that the octopus has it. What octopus? Oh yeah, you have to have sex with the octopus, and then you do what I'm telling you. That's how you get, because you molested 5 kids. So now again, something's coming out here. Okay, people are tired of hearing about small children getting molested. The social service field has been brought to my channel because of a certain document. People are watching my channel, my videos every single find out like who is this woman that everyone's talking about in the entertainment field, and who is this woman that they're saying that she's doing this and this and this and that, because the way that I carry myself and my behavior and my track record doesn't match the fuckery that they're putting out about my name. So it's causing cognitive dissonance in people, and it's making people angry. Yeah, but you sat up and you lied though. You sat up and you lied every single minute. Yeah, but I don't believe that though because you're lying. Like, oh, okay, they just said that I can like do magic on black people and then they will believe me. And then I'll be a king amongst black people. Like I'm supposed to like rule over them. Okay. Because some bitch told you that in virtual reality. Okay. Right. She didn't talk to anybody else. She talked to you, but you have no melanin and you do disastrous, filthy, perverted things. Yeah, because I never heard about like a black man like trying to have sex with a dog or like, like, yeah. Right. Some of you guys have read that book, Grapes of Wrath. And in the book, Grapes of Wrath, right? At the end of the book, she had to breastfeed the dog. We're all family here. Yeah, you guys never read Grapes of Wrath? They made us read that in like high school, like oh, about the Great Depression and how white people got fucking hit and the black community survived because we had farms and like shit like that in like my grandma's backyard. I don't know what's going on with these white people, but we good here. And there's no food. Right? Oh my God. So now some of you guys are starting to realize, like, oh, okay, I see that this has been a war that's coming to an end now. So I say all that to say, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start something vicious with bioinformatics. And oh here, there's somebody that knows that thinks they know about the computer that's playing with the computer, like, oh, I want to see if they know about me. Here, let me give you something. Good, stay off my channel. Thank you. So now what's going to end up happening here is this technology, like you can do this and you can do that, is going to get broken because these holes that are playing in space, they are not really telling you what they did to be able to get that technology to work. Oh, they've all eaten corn at one point in time. You must eat this. So I don't really eat that in my diet. You must eat this. Okay. You must eat this. Okay. And you become spiritual and powerful. Okay. So isn't that Nimrod and Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon? We will go ahead and we will eat these animals, and by consuming their flesh, we will gain their power. And then didn't Babylon like fall off? They're not here. I don't really think that you're telling the truth. Or is this a really good idea to be doing this in front of the black community? Right. Because I don't think I like want to go outside and show my face when everyone finds out about this, because they can instantly identify a white man that was involved in this. Indians, no. Even the Asians, no. And that's what started a big ass divide. Like, no, we'll stay on the computer. Like, we don't do that. Even the sellouts, they don't want no parts. So now, what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put out something for the feds. I'm just going to type this up when I have the time. I'm going to write it up first. And it's going to be how to identify cyborgia Irklankla families in their bioinformatics. And that's how you're going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that they went to go practice incest. Oh yeah, but I got my ancestry file. There's something about ancestry files and something about like having extra chromosomes or having less chromosomes. Yeah, 23 chromosomes. No, there's more. You just can't see them in certain people because they're these chromosomes. I'm not gonna. Should I say that? No, I shouldn't say that. Thank you. Um, because there's something about chromosomes and not being able to see certain chromosomes. There's something about protein modeling and not being able to see certain proteins. Like some of you guys are like, what's protein modeling? Where they basically like try to predict what your proteins look like and they look for functional groups or hydroxyl groups as well. And something's going to come out with hydroxyl groups and DNA because it's hydrogen that binds to two. You guys know that DNA is two strings. It's hydrogen that binds those two strings, but some hydroxyl groups. So something's going to end up coming out with that and then hydroxyl groups. Do you have hydrogen or hydroxyl groups? Okay. Why? Because that means that you're on an illegal chemical server. Yeah, because the hydrogen needs to be there for them to be able to have like mix with the RNA and make the double helix. But they don't know that the Neanderthal has two strands. So they don't tell people that there's actually four strands, and they figure that out with functional groups. Oh, okay, now I see what they were playing on your computer for to try to get you to not bring this out. Okay. Because you would basically expose the whole entire white race as being from space and playing with space holes and starting shit. And it will start a big ass war because this war of white supremacy, it's absolutely positively not going to stop until white people get exposed spiritually and scientifically, period. That's done for. Right, but for the space to be exposed, it is the science and it is the science and it's the spiritual. It's done. So now something else is going to come out about how did you know about this with hydroxyl groups? Because I'm a high priestess. There is, we will discuss this later. There's nothing here for you to see. Because you guys have to understand that all these people playing with that technology, their computer is tapped. So the police get on the computer and they watch them have meetings with this bitch from space talking about nonsense. But you want to know what normalized it? Like, oh, it's normal because these space holes, they showed their fucking hand in that virtual reality. So that's how much drama you get into. Yeah, it's normal. From every federation, they brought them out all at fucking once from everywhere. And that's what you guys do in space. Get rid of them, exterminate all of them, get rid of them. And that's what broke their group up in the first place. Like, no, I don't really think that they know what they're talking about. Nah, man, I'm okay with it. You know what? Nah, I think I'm good. I know what to do now. I've gotten enough from mother. Right. Because they showed this is my body on planet Earth. And then when they saw that it was all these hosts that started this bullshit to begin with, they said, oh, okay, now I see what you are. I'm never going to answer you again. So now something else is going to end up coming out. So you can tell what we're doing in our blood. You can tell what's going on in our mind. Yeah, you can identify a sociopath or a schizo from their bioinformatics. And I'm telling you, you don't want to get into something where, because of COVID, everyone has to get their bioinformatics put on the database. Oh, they did it with COVID. They can do this. Right? It's for quality improvement. It's just to know that we're making better hiring decisions. That would never happen where they inject everyone all at once and then so right. Putting this all together. And now we want to talk about something that these holes don't know that we've exposed in space. More sideshows getting planned. Thank you, High Priest. Because they come around my house just to let me know that we're about to go vroom vroom tonight, all the time. So, why? You can't stop this. Go get tested. Right. That's what they're gonna start. Go get tested and you come let me know. So now, one of the things that these holes in space have failed to realize is that, oh, just because we put magic on this and try to hide it doesn't mean that we actually hid it. Oh, just because we lied to them about who black people were and brown people were because we're stupid and have no melanin doesn't mean that that's actually the truth. Actually, I'm tired of going to war constantly with every fucking body because we're stupid. Why can't I just not be stupid? You were given the opportunity to not be stupid. You didn't take it. You decided that it was more important for you to go back and forth with cemetery magic and playing in Necropolis than to stop. So now, one of the things that's going to end up happening here is there's going to be an exposure of the rate law and intermediate rate law. So, what is rate law? In chemistry, rate law is basically like, oh, you have a string of chemicals. How do I know? How do I know? Hey. Yeah, that's done for. Okay, good. So you have a string of chemicals. That's fine. And in the string of chemicals, you're basically saying like, oh, Look, I have potassium iodide, chlorine, and trioxide. Okay, which one goes first in the chemical reaction? Which one gets activated first in the order of steps in the reaction? And this is where holes are going to get exposed. Excuse me, how did you know about that? So you guys just saw this chemical equation. Which one goes first in the reaction? That's true, because what part of the molecule activates the other part? And then how do they go through in the reaction? I never understood that in chemistry. Like, is it alphabetized? Or like, how do you put one molecule in front of the other? And how do you know that that's actually accurate? They have no fucking idea. It's just set by the universal spirals. And they're just like lucky, like, okay, that didn't blow up in the laboratory. Ooh, I didn't get poisoned today. Okay. Do you know that the way in which they've been playing here is by playing with this specifically? Like, oh, as the spiral is coming down, the spiral is coming down into the compound to basically give the chemical its physical attributes. Like, oh, you melt at this rate. These are your gravimetric functions, right? This is the titration. This is how you react in a reaction. We need this much of you in a reaction to get this much, etc. This is how much you will weigh, etc. Even how many moles you will end up having, right? All of that is set by the spiral. So as the spiral is coming down, because they're using illegal chemical servers in the laboratory, we tied this chemical here with this other chemical. So as the spiral is coming down to like the third ring, this chemical is going to come here with this plant. We tied this chemical over here with this part of the spiral. So as it's coming down in the fifth or sixth ring, this chemical will get snuck in here. So people don't know that on the planet, they've been eating a specific type of spiral, which is connected to somebody that buried themselves here. And that's how that virtual reality got turned on. And everyone was hearing it like, wait, what? Our physical, like our higher selves have been like cleaning us out. God has been like cleaning us out, like removing that from us. Like how much damage is on this planet? So much. It can be fixed though. And I'm going to teach you guys how, like, we're going to start doing a bunch of energy work. It's going to be like, soon you will have to like go there, like, oh, how you do your taxes every year? Like, oh, I have to do this like once a year or twice a year. Make sure that I'm chipping in and things like that, like energetically to clean up the poop demon, the graveyard demon, the murder and grief demon, the chemical demon, the child molestation demon, which is the newest one, and the demon of going against indigenous people who stabilize the planet. So then what will happen is when they get rid of this experiment with white people, because they're going to leave the planet, who we will still have a specific type of like spiral that's low vibrational, that's stopping specific forces of physics from being able to come down onto the planet. Why didn't we know about this rate law? Yeah, you don't need to know about that. It is not important for you to know. What you must know is that we will handle it, right? Some goofy ass bitch in space with a voice changer. So Daisy, are they really playing in space like that? Somebody wants to know. Yeah, are they playing like that? My daughter showed me your channel. They are playing just like that. This rate law, I'm gonna go into like in detail. I just gave you like the snippets of it, but that's basically what they've been doing. Like, oh, we made a copy of the universal spiral because you can do that. You can make snapshots of the universe. It's like, oh, let me just do like a backup. Same way you have your computer. Let me just do a backup of our planet or of our universe, and then like, just in case like some stupidity happens, or just in case like there's some type of like mishap, or just in case like somebody tries to bring some type of nonsensical like magic to our planet, we can go ahead and activate the backup of our planet, which we have. There's a backup of planet Earth before they brought white people here and shit like that. I don't know if you guys deserve that though, and I don't know if you're ready for that. Okay, and that's why they're playing with people's kids because they knew that it would be time one day where all indigenous people see this because of the internet. We would all be connected and we will see this bullshit and it will be done. Thank you. That's the only reason why they let them have the internet. Oh, look, they can connect with each other. We met each other in high school and like, look, my mate, I got to meet my mate because we got separated and now look, I'm with my mate. We're 70, but we're together now. Shit like that. Because they saw like a few stories and were like, okay, right. So now, so now, So now what's going to end up happening here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep talking about these different chemical laws that these motherfuckers did not look into before they started this shit with these white people on the planet. Yeah, because which one goes first and why? How do you know? And why is it not organized in a different way, which I'm going to explain? It should be organized this way. And somebody's going to go try to run with that, and they're going to end up running into something like very sinister, which is the feds. And why? How did you get on her computer to find that out? Because there's a federal agent that has access to my computer, and every single time I type notes and stuff like that, he keeps a backup copy. And the way he does is like he uses some type of parsing mechanism and some type of seek and scan for the internet to find people that are putting this in their computer or their phone. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's actually really stupid to like be rounding up like small, like innocent children. And okay, yeah, we shouldn't be playing like that. Why are we playing with people of color with magic after we told them that it doesn't exist and to be in religion? That's a white person on my page. Stop molesting small children and get off my page before I poison you. Okay, good. Thank you. Let me help you here. Yeah, everyone's crazy until like we were right because everyone saw that 37 fall and said, oops. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that 37 fall. That sounds so stupid. I was just like jealous because I was starting a bunch of shit with candle work, right? In my hood, and everyone knows that I'm goofy. So you guys, there's a few more things that are coming down. Right. There's a few more things that are coming down. You're always crazy to people that are uneducated. I didn't pass like the 12th grade, like I didn't really like do well, like I'm like really not okay and like okay, but it just makes me mad to see that like women are doing this. Like something with misogyny and like delusion. Yeah, something with the jock strap and watching videos of like men getting people that are in your mind, they pop up in reality. That's just like a premonition type of tool. Premonition, right? So it's a chemical sequence. So now what's gonna end up happening here is we're gonna dive into rate law, right? And somebody's gonna go ahead and get caught playing with that technology from space. And there's going to be something that's very explosive in the spiritual community that comes out about people using virtual reality on other like spiritualists and stuff like that to try to get information to build an app for spiritual ignorance because you're ignorant, right? And you have no akasha and you have no speech because you're not a high priest. I hope you're listening to me, Seven Bomar, because I know what you're doing. And I expose this because something sinister is happening, and I wanted to get it exposed before it gets started, which is trying to come onto YouTube and introduce this thing of like aquatic. This is what I found out about the nomos. The nomos don't exist. That's and you're not. That's and Oswagwagwam in space playing. They're not aquatic. They don't have an akasha. They have no federation. They have no speech. We will go ahead and we'll create this and we'll give it to the white man and tell him to go ahead and say this and this and that. The Dogon, they were playing with the specific information that was once on the planet and it was inaccurate. It's just called divination. Like, oh, I just passed this down. It was my physical body because people used to do that. How do they know? It's called divination because people know what the fuck you're doing playing. Oh, I'm gonna call it Sybil AI because you stole half of that in your app for my YouTube channel. Because I'm a Sybil. A Sybil is a black psychic. A Sybil's a crow. And crows do what? Because he gets on fentanyl that he thinks is like coca. And playing on the computer. I just had to say that because it's something that the feds are about to wrap up with a specific group called the Quiera. It's like, oh, this is like a magical book, and like everyone's gonna find out about this, and da 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 da, da, and that's gonna be it. There's that book is garbage. That's nothing. Because they're trying to like make it seem like they didn't do what they did playing with everyone's kids, and everyone's kids are still missing though. But my kid is still missing though. Yeah, and all the money from our cash app is still missing though. Oh yeah, true. And I know for a fact that you guys are still having sex in your family because I used to be married to you. All right. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. And you're still hacking everyone's computer because how did you get all like trade secrets? Aha. True. Mr. Jim Cooper, who's a state assembly member that watches my YouTube channel. And we know what the fuck is going on because I saw those autopsy reports with kids and aquatic beings and dogs and animals. You have to get a Jimdo dog or this type of black dog, a black German Shepherd. Thank you. So, no, let's see. Yeah, it's been going like all day. So I'm gonna teach you how to take that spiral that they made playing with rate law, okay? And we're getting off of that spiral server. So some of you guys are like, I work out hella hard. Why aren't I losing any weight? Why is my body still staying the same? Or why did I get sick? Or why don't I feel like I have any energy? It's because they were playing with that spiral all at once for the past like 2 to 3 years. We're getting off of that spiral. It's official now. I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys off that spiral. I put this on you. So there's a few of you guys that are watching this that are gonna get the spiral. So you will no longer be tied to that chemical server because of something that they like weaved in through the soil and to all the different plants as they were coming down to the planet. So this is how they caught everyone playing with spell work. There's certain chambers that you go to in space, like planets. They're hosted, and certain people live on those planets, mainly indigenous people. And let's say, for instance, like you play with a specific type of like root or whatever, you can go to that planet and visit, and then go look in the shaft and go see like who's put it in certain orders with this herb to play with the phytochemical and who's eating this. And that's how they were finding out about like people playing with the chemistry and playing with the zodiac and like starting a bunch of shit. So now what ends up happening here is that rate law, you guys are getting off that spiral, but other people are tied to it too. That's how they started uploading white people. How are you contacting me? No, you must be telling the truth because how are you reaching me? You want to go to a different planet? I'm telling you that's about to be possible because the radial probability distribution is going to open back up again. We'll have different forces of physics and we'll be able to work with different mechanics here and like move like to different places. Yeah, Mercury's not that bad. It's really Neptune that's the problem. Yeah, that's been done. But how do we breathe there? It's actually a specific spell that you put on yourself and then you can breathe. So, so you mean to tell me that we did all that to these innocent kids, which we knew was going to end up happening all at once? White people will realize that they're in a fucking abomination, and a lot of them would end up in Bird Box. That Bird Box, that movie Bird Box, that the last that would survive is a black man in an air clunklet. And notice the birds, they don't have a speech. The bird that they put in Bird Box, that bird is banished in space. Why this one? Just do it. Bird Box, they saw in divination. There's going to be a day where everyone starts finding out what they are and who they are. We're going to start that now. And they would run into the streets misbehaving and acting out. My tarot cards are calling me. Let me see. I got my deck right here. Yeah, Nine of Wands. But it came in reversed. Yeah, that's going to stop. Yeah, Three of Wands right here. One day it will come and it will end. What? So they said, like, let's go make that movie Bird Box, and then people will see that they're gonna end. It's not gonna be for us because they saw it in divination. Like one day you create this experiment, this is how they all end, and it's coming up now. Like, what is this? A city? What are those cars and stuff like that? Oh, okay, interesting. So we're at that point in time where it's coming to a close. Now, another thing that I want to go ahead and discuss here is because of the work that I'm doing, I want you guys to pay attention to somebody named Seven Bomar. There's a few of you guys, especially the celebrities. I want you to go pay attention to my content and then pay attention to what he puts out so you can get him shot. Because Seven Bomar's name's gonna come out in the music industry and him being the one uploading all these different rappers and stuff like that. Like, okay, you guys don't think about me at all and things like that. Spreading hacked audio technology and like a bunch of other bullshit. Did you just hear that song? That's Future. For those of you guys that were in the virtual reality, what was the first thing that ended up happening? Oh, Seven Bomar and Future, and Future, like, yeah, I've heard of him before. I remember him from the music industry because he used to live in Atlanta. But just the fact that Future is from Atlanta, that's the last place Seven Bomar lived. I believe, like the second to last place that he lived before he went on the run to Costa Rica. I want you to watch my channel and what I'm talking about, and then I want you to go on his page and go see what he's talking about. And then I want you to pay attention to what they're doing, this Kyoto group, because they're trying to make it seem like, okay, people can't know that we did all these rituals and that we play with all these kids and that we started all this bullshit globally. We have to try to make it seem like this is like Seven's work or something like that, and people will believe it because we went on the back end of YouTube and we edited the views. And then, okay, we're editing her views, we're making it look like it's like low, even though thousands of people are watching this. And then we're trying to make it look like his channel is high, even though he's really accurately getting like maybe like 2,000 to like 1,500 views per video. And then I'm going to contact a certain high priest and I'm going to bring him to my channel. So this is what you've been doing and why you've been like, hey, I got some new stuff. I've just been like meditating and downloading. You're uploading black women to virtual reality to plagiarize and club chase because you don't have shit, because you're fucking on a white woman and you're molesting your daughter and causing a bunch of drama in Costa Rica with the Black Islanders. Justice card right here. Okay. Good. There's a few people that want to go and look and like, isn't this all your content? Right. But I want you guys to like just stay there because there's something that's going to come out about a data project. And so that's why you kept this all up. Yeah, she was supposed to get settled out of court like a long time ago, but we were like doing a bunch of magic and like playing with the virtual reality, talking in people's ear, making it seem like they were getting like messages from God by like playing with schizophrenics. Okay. Yeah. I just thought that I was going to like, okay. 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 Right. That's all I got to say. Thank you.